What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to hang out with your boy. We have got a couple of things to talk about today. We got some news about the Punisher. We got some news about the Avengers, Secret Wars. And then, man, Jonathan Majors, my man has had an interesting week once again. So we will talk about that and a couple of other things as well. But before we get started, I have got to see who has made it out tonight to hang out with everybody in the E-fam. We got Milan. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. King Chad is back at it. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Jay, hello, good to see you. We got the Mod Squad, Chris and Pratt coming through. What is up? Thank you so much. MC, good to see you. Paulette, I appreciate you. Shar, what's up? How are you? Sam K, hello. The homie Zia Latrice. Zia, where you been? I feel like I ain't seen you in a minute, but good to see you. My man Mo is back. Appreciate you. Wouldn't be alive without Miss Harper. Thank you so much for being here. Andrew, how you doing? My man Minister Crush is back as well. Trees, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. My man Nelson V is here. For a second, I got a chance to watch Daredevil, and I was about to be so happy. I was about to rejoice. My heart was going to be so full of joy. And then I stopped and read, and I saw the haven't got a chance. Why don't you like nice things? I feel like, and this is not a personal shot per se, because I'm saying this all in love and jest, right? I feel like, Nelson, you won the lottery, right? You got the winning ticket right there in your hand. And you just put it in your back pocket and say, I'll get to it later. Why don't you want to be rich? We've given you the answers to the test. Why don't you want to get the A+? We've told you what to go watch and what can upgrade your life. Why don't you want good things for your life? It's just one of those unsolved mysteries. I don't get it. I don't understand. Thank you, Nelson, for being here. Appreciate you. 60+. Appreciate you coming through. Good to see you. Jam. Hello. Anna Babe, what's up? Raymond, good to see you. My man Dwight is back. Hello. Theo, how you doing? Mr. Leo, good to see you. Homie Aranda, hello. Gary, what is up? Diane, appreciate you coming through. Chris, hello, man. Good to see you. London calling all the way. Stamina MC, hello. Phil Roy, appreciate you, man. What is up? Let's see. Puma, appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through. Kristen, I see you as well. Hello. Who else do we got? Oh, my man Corey, hello. Kiki, appreciate you coming through. CJ, thank you. Appreciate you as well. T-Ville, what is up? Antoine, hello. My man Dre is here. Hello. Who else did I see? There we go. Eugene, and shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. I do appreciate y'all for sure. All right, let's do some quick updates and talk about a couple quick topics, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes of stuff. Let's see. First of all, we have okay. One of y'all know I love me a good horror franchise, horror movies. This is what I like. I watch them almost all the time, even if they're bad. But man, when I tell you, this is probably one of the biggest, it's one of, not the biggest fall off for a franchise. Oh, and it is my beloved Saw. Saw 11. I didn't even know that this was a thing. But it has thankfully been canceled. And I say, thankfully, it is canceled. Because why is there even a Saw 11? I've watched every single Saw movie. And after maybe Saw 2, maybe after 2, maybe at like 1 and 2 are the best. 1 is the absolute best. Shout out to James Wan. 1 is the absolute best. 2, okay, they kept it cooking. It was fine. 3, story, okay. Y'all was stretching it. Y'all was stretching it. It was watchable. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? Yikes. That stuff just got worse and worse as everything came out. Now, they tried to bring it back with Saw 10. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I'm just saying it ain't never get back to where it started. And that was the only thing that kind of bothered me, was just it just never got better. Like it was okay, it was watchable, but that one with Chris Rock, whack. So the fact that they're reportedly being done with Saw 11, I'm very okay with this. Fine. Thank you. Okay with me. But you guys let me know, what did you think about all the Saws? What do you think about Saw 11 being canceled? Is it about time? Do you care at all? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. Now this is something more so for my fellow 90s kids. But it looks like here this ain't never gonna die. This ain't never gonna go away. No matter how hard they try, this is going to be on automatic until the day we die. Because once again, we got a live action Power Rangers series in the works at Disney Plus. First of all, aren't they all live action? Have they ever made an animated Power Rangers or something? What are you talking about? They're all live action. Just say that there's another Power Rangers coming. So, I mean, listen, I don't know what they're doing with this. I don't know who your audience is for this. Personally, I liked the last movie that they tried to do, because they tried to make it just a little bit more mature, not too much, just a little bit more, and I was okay with that. It wasn't terrible. You know, I actually was hoping that they'd keep going with it, but they didn't. I mean, I'm never gonna forget what Power Rangers did for me as a kid, coming home after school, watching the episodes, the drama. Yes, it was cheap. Yes, it was redundant. I did not care. Okay, I did not care. As a kid, watching Power Rangers after school, it was amazing. It was great. It was fun. I had the toys. I had a good time. Personally, I think that matter of fact, even that first movie wasn't too bad. Maybe it is bad, but from my childhood memory, it wasn't bad. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Something's going down and it's on the double. Yeah. Man, listen, with Goo, with what was that, Ivan Ooze or whatever? Like, I was cool with it. I liked it. And when they did the Ninja Rangers, you know, shout out to Tommy Green Ranger, rest in peace, you know. But like, anyway, I really just wish that if you're going to do a reboot of this franchise, because again, I don't know if the young kids care about Power Rangers, but if you're going to make an appeal, why not just go the more mature route? Why not just give us that rated R Power Rangers? Everyone that watched this show is a full-grown adult now. I'm just saying, you have a demographic that actually remembers it. And if you grew with the demographic, maybe it'd have a shot, you know? But anyway, I don't know. Maybe some of y'all got kids that watch Power Rangers, do y'all have kids that watch Power Rangers? Do you still watch Power Rangers? I'm not gonna judge. If you still watch Power Rangers Zeo, Geo, Morphin Time, I don't know what they call them nowadays. But if you still watch them, cool, but y'all let me know. What do you think about the idea of making another Power Rangers series on Disney Plus? Is this something you will check out? Is this something you're looking forward to? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What else we got? All right. I don't know about y'all. Now, I watched this when I was a kid, and it didn't bother me, except for the fact that it definitely made me not want to have another dog or a dog at all. Like, I wanted a dog, but this movie made me not want to have a dog. And y'all know what it is with Hollywood. When in doubt, do a remake. None other, Darren Aronofsky is in talks to direct the remake of Cujo for Netflix. Let me tell you something. Cujo was a problem. Cujo was, think about it like this. I'm watching Cujo right after, because I want to say this was in the early 90s. I want to say. I was watching Cujo right after I watched Beethoven. Y'all remember Beethoven? I'm sitting here like, yo, Beethoven, I wanted a St. Bernard. Now the drooling was a problem. Even Beethoven's drooling was definitely a problem. But I'm just saying, y'all jacked me up. I was feeling great, feeling good watching Beethoven, and then you gave me Cujo? My brain at that time did not know how to process this. I was like, I definitely want to St. Bernard, but not if he looked like Cujo. I don't know if I don't know. I was so confused. So I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you, Dan. And after Sandlot with the scary dog in Sandlot, that was a problem too. I was turned off from dogs for at least a good 5 years. At least. I was just like, y'all showing me that this ain't gonna work. Y'all drooling, y'all scary, y'all probably can eat me alive. I don't want it. Don't want no parts of it. But I don't know, guys. Like, Darren Aronofsky, like, he has an interesting track record. I think he was the one that did Black Swan. Really enjoyed that. But he also did Mother, and I was like, nah, bro. I don't know, bro. You was doing a little too much with that, bro. But I don't know. Like, do we need a Cujo remake? I'm just wondering at this point, because if I'm not mistaken, going off of memory, wasn't Cujo, he was just a dog with some rabies? Wasn't that it? Like, I haven't rewatched it as an adult. Was there something else wrong with Cujo, or was it just the rabies? And he was like, was he possessed by a demon or something? Like, was there something else? I don't remember. If y'all remember, let me know. But I don't know. Do y'all want this? Do y'all want to see it? Let me know what you think, because I don't know how you make a Cujo movie interesting today. I don't know. If you give me a crazy twist, a crazy something, fine, maybe, but I don't know. Anyway. Did anybody shoot Cujo? Like, I'm just real okay, because again, I haven't seen the movie, and I'm just wondering, did anybody just take a shotgun and put that dog down? Like, did it just didn't work? Didn't nobody call animal control? Like, all right, it's too much into this. Anyway, maybe this could be cool for the young folks, but apparently Encanto Part 2 is potentially in the works at Disney. I believe John Leguizamo said this, that they're trying to come up with the storyline. They are working on it. One thing he also said was that he was looking for the sequel to now do nothing but talk about Bruno, right? So, listen, I just know my girls are gonna love this. They love the first Encanto. They still, the wife too. Like, You start putting it on, they start singing all the songs. I like the movie. It was a cool little movie. But yeah, this thing was on repeat every day for like 3 weeks straight. So yeah, I know they'll enjoy it. But a part 2 could be happening. And I mean, listen, at this point, I think Disney's where they are just like, yo, we're not trying to take a lot of risks. So if it was something popular, we'll go ahead and do a sequel or whatever. So let me know if you guys are looking forward to an Encanto Part 2. I don't know how I feel about this, but the rights for the Jason Bourne franchise are being sold to another studio. Skydance, Apple, and Netflix have met about acquiring the franchise. And to make things even more gray, we don't know if Matt Damon is going to be involved or if a reboot will happen. Let me tell you a couple things. First and foremost, when Bourne Identity came out, this was in a very nice era of film where Matrix had just came out, and while we had all that sci-fi stuff going on, Bourne Identity was giving us something a little more gritty. This was like the John Wick before John Wick. Okay, like that's probably the best way I can maybe explain it, because the story with with Jason Bourne was like, he was like this undercover secret agent, but he forgot it. And the second he was in a situation, things just clicked for him, and he was chop, 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 chop. He was kung fuing it up and messing people up. And everybody, I remember being in the theater for this. Everybody was like, whoa, like, yo, okay, Matt Damon, do your thing. And the thing is, the first 2 movies, solid. Oh, then I kind of forget what happened, because the movies kind of blur together. I think it was Bourne, whatever the third one was, it was a little redundant. And then they did the Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner, and that got a little like that. It just didn't feel the same once you took Jason Bourne out of the Bourne Identity. Hey, they tried to pass the mantle, and that didn't work. So I'm just like, y'all gonna try and do this without Matt Damon? Like, because honestly, bringing Matt Damon back might be the only thing that gets me interested in this, because we already saw what happened when you took him out and replaced him with Jeremy Renner. Wasn't a terrible movie, but oh my God, was it forgettable. It was absolutely forgettable. So I don't know. And I mean, if y'all gonna reboot the whole thing, why? For what? Like, at this point, again, because keep in mind, this came around and this felt like a pre-John Wick. What are you going to do with Jason Bourne now that we haven't already seen within the last 15 years? Like, what is the new unique gimmick? Because it was cool with him, like, oh, I forgot that I was actually a secret agent. That was cool, but it's like, all right, the secret's out the bag. We already get it. What else are you about to do now? Too much time has passed. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just saying, Matt Damon might be the only thing. Outside of that, I have no real interest. But y'all let me know. Is this something that you're interested in? Is this something that you care about? Is Matt Damon enough to get you interested? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. Oh, we had talked about this too. What was it? The Coyote versus Acme thing. Y'all remember how WB, just like with Batgirl, WB basically shelved this movie, and a lot of they were just like, it's just not gonna do well, and they wanted to basically make it a tax write-off. And they shelved the movie. They had a funeral watching or something like that. And it was just really sad because we found out that the director damn near sold his house, went to go live somewhere for 2 years to shoot this movie. The thing had a I think it was a positive test screening, and all of a sudden, Warner Brothers was like, nah, we out of here. Nah, don't want it. Right off. Well, while it's been sitting on the shelf, it looks like that there actually is a little bit of hope, because Warner Brothers is now in talks to sell Coyote versus Acme to Catch Up Entertainment for about 50 million. So it's about 50 million. These are the same people or the same studio that released The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. And I'll be very honest with you, I don't know a soul that has seen that movie. The Day the Earth Blew Up. Did y'all watch that? Did anybody watch that? Because I'm like, y'all getting this to catch up? Ketchup! Yeah, it don't feel the same. Like mustard, it's not the same. Ketchup Entertainment, the same company that released that boo-boo looking Hellboy movie. I don't know. Like, y'all might have done better just putting this sucker on Tubi or something. I don't know. Well, I don't. What we will see. We will see. It's I'm happy for the creators. I'm happy for the people that worked on the film, but man, I just wish that they would do something like this for Batgirl. But that would mean that they'd actually have to pay money to finish the movie, and I don't think WB is in that position. They don't care. But anyway, will y'all watch the Coyote versus Acme? I'm not gonna watch it. I'd have to be incredibly bored with nothing else, but I'm probably not gonna watch it. We got a quick Bond update. David Heyman and Amy Pascal, they are in talks to develop the next James Bond films. In case you did not know, Heyman developed the Harry Potter movie franchise, and as we know, our girl Amy Pascal, who ain't gonna hold back nothing when it comes back to Spider-Man, she developed the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy and the Into the Spider-Verse trilogy as well. She's also a producer on that. So this is interesting because on one hand, it is being, Amazon, if they sign them on, Amy Pascal has put together some good Spider-Man movies. Only problem is she had a whole lot of help with Kevin Feige. Or should I say, Anne, with the Into the Spider-Verse stuff, she had Lord and Miller right there. They're not there to help her if she needs help. Let's just assume she doesn't. Fine. You got Heyman here, who did the Harry Potter franchise. Incredibly successful, right? The whole Harry Potter, them things was making bank. Now, the real question now is this a good fit for James Bond? Does James Bond need 7 movies? Does James Bond need a Harry Potter Spider-Man-like touch? I mean, yes, we know that the James Bonds so far have been viewed as in we need a trilogy with them or whatever. We want somebody who can be here for the next 10 years and knock out 3 movies. Okay, but I don't know. This feels like, and I know it's kind of weird to say it, but it feels like it's going to Hollywoodize and mainstream James Bond. And James Bond is a commercial pop type of thing, but it's not like you walk around seeing James Bond toys. It's not like you go around seeing, James Bond TV shows, but it does also feel like that's what Amazon wants to do. It feels like they might be trying to water James Bond down, because we talked about that last week about how they wanted the Money Penny series, a female 007. Good luck with that. But I don't know, guys. How do you think that this is a good sign to get the Harry Potter and the Spider-Man producers on James Bond? I mean, maybe. I don't know, but y'all let me know what you think. Okay, that is it for the quick updates. Hold on, I think I got some love here. Let me respond. Nope, that was for something else. Sorry. Still getting some fantasy payouts. Crazy. Let's see. Okay, 60 plus. What you got? Second week you missed my name. Did I? No, I didn't. I got you. Yeah, I got you. I'm sorry if I missed you last week, but I got you. I got you. But thank you so much for the support. And just in case, here now you get a second one. What's up, 60 plus? How are you? Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. All right, let's move on. All right, we got a God of War update. So in case you missed it, God of War is first of all, it's one of the best game franchises, period. Like I think I forget how many hours. I think I put like 84 hours. It might be more than that. It might be 102. I put 102 hours into God of War, like the most recent one on PS5. Ragnarok. Oh my god. I think I did Valhalla for at least 20, 30 hours. Easily one of my favorite franchises in video game history. Easily. It's right up there next to the Arkham franchise for me. So the moment they announced that they were going to do a TV show, I was like, okay, I'm here for this. Now, I think this would benefit more from a movie. Like if the movie does what, like I think you should take the first God of War game story, make that a movie, and then you could do a TV show after that. But they're trying to do a TV show first. So we got a little news about the TV show, and it was getting people up in a ruckus. Okay, people had a lot to say because the showrunner, who's like the main person that runs it, had some comments during an interview recently. His name is Ron Moore, and he had this to say during the podcast. He says, right now I'm working on an adaptation of, there's a video game called God of War. It's a big title, and in the gaming world, that Amazon has ordered 2 seasons of. That's my new thing. Now, Katie Sackhoff, who was doing this, she said that, well, that's a daunting property. And he's like, yeah, I'm not a gamer. So it's even more like I've never done this before. Now, I'm going to just say this first, because I made a post about this on social media and there was mixed reactions to it. This man said he's not a gamer. And for me, that is a red flag. And let me be clear. A red flag does not mean this is automatically going to be garbage. That's not what that means. It just means I have to stop. I gotta stop. And I'm like, my racing of excitement, I'm like, hold up. What? You not a gamer? I'm not saying you got to put in 102 hours, but at the same time, I need you to know what the hell this property is about. I would hope you at least understood the assignment, because God of War, and this is something, okay, we got to get into this. I'm not saying that it is impossible for somebody to come in, not be familiar with something, and make something great, make a video game great. We see this happen similar, not the same, with comic books and books, right? People will read a book, they'll read a comic book, and then they'll translate it to film or maybe into TV, And you know what? The correlation is not that hard, right? We've got many examples of that where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I would challenge and I would push back on the idea that video games are the same. They are not. We have a much longer track record of bad video game adaptations, I would argue, and I don't have the stats or anything, compared to books or comic books, novels, whatever, being adapted. Okay. So going from books and comics is, I think, easier than trying to replicate video games. First thing that came to my mind was Assassin's Creed. I don't know what the hell they saw. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but whatever they put in that Assassin's Creed movie was trash. It showed you how bad they knew nothing about the actual franchise. But yes, you do have things like Resident Evil, where first two movies, great. The rest, not so much. Thank you. Witcher. I never played the games, but honestly, after that first season, it went downhill for me. What else y'all talking about? Twisted Metal. That's up to y'all. Fallout. That's a good example. Matter of fact, let me give another better example. The Last of Us. The Last of Us. But guess who's running the show of The Last of Us? The actual guys from the video game, right? So I think that there is a really positive quality in having people that are deeply, deeply familiar with the franchise to be involved. Now, so I'm not going to completely hold this against them. Ron Moore, you don't have to be a gamer, but damn it, I hope you got a gamer next to you. I hope they in the room with you. I hope somebody on that project is sitting right next to you saying like, Kratos ain't gonna call his son by his name. What you mean? Nah, we gotta go 2 seasons and he gotta call that boy. Don't y'all call that man by his name. Don't let him do that. No, Kratos don't smile. I don't need to see Kratos smile ever. If Kratos smile one time, that's it. You don't know what you're doing. And on top of that, if this ain't the most violent TV show out there, you don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on. Because this is the problem. When you play God of War, it is an experience, right? Yes, there's a story, but it is a unique experience. You have to have a level of rage as a viewer and as a gamer that tries to keep up with Kratos. Okay? When Kratos is mad, when Kratos is like, bring me Zeus, when he is on site with it, you gotta be on site with it as well. When I tell you I was looking for Hercules like it was a mission, okay? When I had the opportunity to smash this man's head, and guess the thing, you smash that head with the door for as long as you want. You just, because the game is going to let you just release and just keep on beating up your enemies. If the show does not show that level of unrelenting punishment and just untethered rage, you're failing. So I need Ron Moore. If you're not going to play the game, or if you're not a gamer, okay, but I need you to understand the elements that made the game so popular today. It ain't the storyline. The storyline is pretty simple if we're being honest. You got a man, he is the ghost of Sparta, he got a troubled past, and he don't like no gods. He got beef with every god, okay? The story is fine, it's basic. But if you don't understand the reason why we get into this game is because that boy Kratos he is the I don't know, divine version of Punisher. You have to understand that. That's all. Okay, let's get back to what he had to say here. But I hope you get that. That's all. I just hope you get that. Now, when asked if he's tried to play God of War, he says, I've tried. Okay. I mean, I'm not a gamer. I took a stab at it, but I grew up on the arcade era where you go down and you put your quarters in and bang on the buttons. I can do that. I'll play Defender, Asteroids. Sure, bring it on, baby. But the controllers, press R1. Which one's R1? Oh, I'm dead. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. No. Now, to his credit, Ron Moore is no slouch. He's worked on dozens of episodes of Star Trek, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Battlestar Galactica. He's been on Outlander for All Mankind. He's also been nominated for two Emmys, won, and also been given several Hugo Awards for his work over the years. Okay, so, it's not like they just got anybody. They got somebody with a resume. Okay. Defender? This man might as well have said Pac-Man. Are you kidding me? Like, it's almost like if somebody were to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go do a Lord of the Rings movie, a Game of Thrones movie, but I'm not a reader. I don't read books. I tried to read a book of Game of Thrones and I was just like, nah. Page 5, nah, I'm done. Like, I'm just saying, is that going to evoke a lot of confidence in you? If a showrunner or director or somebody said, I don't read books, but then they're gonna do a very famous adaptation of a famous book. Like, come on now. Oh, all right. I listen, just give him some help. Please just give him some help. That's all I request. So anyway, guys, what do you think? I mean, Ron Moore, he's a pro in the business. I ain't never watched none of those shows. I don't watch Star Trek. I didn't watch Galactica, whatever, Battlestar. What I don't watch those shows. But I do hear he's, pretty solid. Are you okay with this? He is going to be the showrunner, presumably for 2 seasons. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Okay. Dwight, what you got? Ron Moore is a talented showrunner. I would take a chance on him. BSG for All Mankind. Okay. Listen, again, I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm just concerned that this man might not understand the nature of what makes this character popular. Because one of the fears that I have, and we've seen this in like Marvel stuff, for example, is somebody that does not read comics, and Marvel gives them, all the comics on a flash drive and says, here, read this. And then they're like, all right, let me just make a movie out of this. You will not understand just by reading why the audience connects. You might have a whole different connection as a non-comic book fan, and you try and put that in the movie, and people are like, what are you doing? Why are you making Venom funny? What is happening here? Why are we getting a funny buddy cop Venom? Meanwhile, you had no idea. Ain't nobody really checking for that. So, we'll see. Kiki, the worst video game to movie was Uncharted, and I stand by that. Yikes. I feel like there's definitely been worse. I'm not saying Uncharted was good. I mean, it was, but I mean, Assassin's Creed was absolutely worse. That to me, that was bad. I'm sure there are worse ones that are so bad we don't even want to think about them anymore. I mean, Street Fighter. What? Street Fighter. Like what? Come on, Kiki. Come on, Kiki. Like Street Fighter. Just we have a lot. We have a lot. Frigga, what is up? Hey, man and fam, good to see y'all again. Frigga, it is fantastic to see you. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Doom was trash. Doom was so bad. I wasn't even a movie critic, and I was like, this is bad. As a young person who's super forgiving, wide-eyed, bushy tail, I was like, this is bad. This is a bad movie. Oh my, this is what I was talking about though. This is exactly what I was saying. Some movies are so bad, they wasn't even in, you don't even think about it no more. That was one of them. I forgot Doom existed. Yikes. Oh my gosh. All right. Speaking of video game adaptations, Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat. So, Mortal Kombat, they redid it recently. And I feel like the gamer inside of me wanted this movie to be so good. I wanted it to be better than it actually was. And I remember watching it, and I like some parts of it. I love Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero in that movie I thought was great. Hiroyuki Sanada, who played Scorpion, I thought he was really good. Oh, and it was just Cole. They fumbled the bag with that. How you gonna have a whole movie about a tournament and there ain't no tournament? What? Like what? They fumbled that. They fumbled it. And the more I think about it after the fact, the more I kind of don't like it over time. But they have a part 2, and I actually follow the producers and stuff, and they be saying the right things. They say like, "Oh man, we got a tournament now. Oh man, we're gonna make this better now." And oh man, and I'm like, I feel like y'all was saying a lot of that for the first movie too. So now I have trust issues because now I don't know if you guys really get it. Now, similar to what I was talking about before with the video game movie adaptations, Ed Boon, I believe the Mortal Kombat guys are involved with this. But if I'm not mistaken, they was involved with the last one too. So, yeah, but anyway, we got a couple first look images of the characters. Boom, we got Scorpion right there. Let's see, Shao Kahn. What the hell? Why does Shao Kahn look like just a demon? Okay. My man looked like that piece of rib that fell in your grill and you forgot about it, and then you come back and get it later. Like, hey, my man look a little too overcooked right there. Just I don't know. I don't know. And then Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Okay. All right. Listen, I like Carl Urban. That is a good actor. I really like him as an actor. I love how much he cares about the characters that he portrays. Um, I'm still a little iffy about this Johnny Cage. Like, I know they're trying to go for an older one. I just like I don't know if I could take this seriously. I don't know. Like I don't. Why do y'all need an older Johnny Cage? Like y'all rebooting. You don't have to go old with anything. Okay. And then we got Katana. At least Katana looked better. She got her fans. You know, I would have went with a little bit more royal blue. Like you could make that blue pop a little bit, but whatever. And we do have an interview here about from the creators and stuff. They say here, this is from Ed Boon, the co-creator of Mortal Kombat. He said, "You finally get to see Johnny Cage. His integration into the Mortal Kombat story and universe is a big part of what this movie explores. He's a washed up Hollywood guy thrown into this magical, ultra violent thing. Carl, his depiction of Johnny Cage is different than our games in some ways. He's adding his own flair to it, but I think it'll feel fresh, like there's a novelty factor in there." Can I just mention something here? Like, when you're trying to reboot something, or if you're trying to make a adaptation of something that is well known and well beloved, trying to give your own fresh take is a huge risk. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying, why are you trying to give a different take than what people have liked and people have accepted? Like, what? Okay. Um, it's like y'all be trying to fix things that ain't broke. Just like how y'all tampered with the music. I told you, don't mess with the Mortal Kombat music. You don't need no fresh techno remix, hip hop. You don't need nothing. Just play the damn music. The original music. That's it. You don't need no help. But I am going to trust Carl Urban as an actor. He is a very good actor. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay, but we'll see. Boone calls the character's introduction ridiculously hilarious, having incited some of the biggest laughs from the early screenings. But director Simon McCoy, we wanted a character that wasn't just completely silly comic book. It's a character that could instantly go there and become too light in the throwaway if we were to lean too much into that kind of cheese. The casting of Carl Urban for that role allowed for the character to have more depth. I don't like where y'all going. I mean, just because the test audience laughs at stuff, like I don't. So, like I don't know. I mean, I like what the director's saying. I like that he's saying that, like, yeah, we don't want it to be too cheesy. Okay, cool. Because cheesy is whack to me, but it sounds like y'all had too much fun with this character and this project. That's that's what I'm getting from this. Because one thing is that to me, unless you have comedy, unless you have comedians that are involved with making something that's supposed to be funny, I don't know if I trust Hollywood humor. In other words, what's funny to some of y'all producers out there, that don't mean it's universally funny. It might be culturally funny for you and your 5 people in your little circle, but that don't mean it's funny for everybody. And again, how many different types of people was in that audience? So I don't know. I don't know. What else they got here? So apparently there is going to be a tournament. It says here they keep score throughout the movie. There's a visual representation of who's winning. It's not just a tournament for the sake of a tournament. There are huge consequences. So you really are keeping score. And there are a lot of twists that keep you on your toes. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I love this franchise. I really do. Matter of fact, I love the stories in the video games. Like, I like the stories more than I do the actual fighting and the fatalities. But I get okay. what kind of bothered me here is the fact that y'all didn't say one word about the fatalities. Like, let's not pretend that the word fatality did not come into your brain because of Mortal Kombat. You need to let me know, y'all, we got some new fatalities. I'm just saying, because even when the new games come out, what's the first thing that you think about with the new games? What new fatalities do y'all have? I don't know about y'all, but I'll sit there and I'll watch a whole trailer of everyone's fatality before I go buy the game. Not one mention about fatalities? Okay. Johnny Cage, he gonna be kind of funny, y'all. And they gonna keep a scorecard for the tournament. All right. Okay. Anyway, guys, what do you think about the Mortal Kombat movie? Is this something that you're looking forward to? Is this something you care about? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. We got a nice little story here. So, in case you guys did not know, Bruce Willis, he is not in the best health right now. Unfortunately, he's I think it's a form of dementia, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously his Hollywood career is over. But it's nice because we just had this interview with one of his friends, and that is none other than Sam Jackson. And Sam decided to share a uh, uh, because it was Bruce Willis's birthday. He just turned 70. He wanted to share like just a quick little story, or actually just some advice that Bruce Willis gave him that pretty much kind of stuck with him for a while. And he said here, Bruce, he told me, hopefully you'll be able to find a character that when you make bad movies and they don't make any money, you can always go back to this character everybody loves. And Sam said, and Bruce said, he said, Arnold's got Terminator, Sylvester's got Rocky and Rambo. I've got John McClane. I'm like, oh, okay. And it didn't occur to me until I got that Nick Fury role and I had a 9-picture deal with Nick Fury that, oh, I'm doing what Bruce said. I've got this character now. So Sam Jackson absolutely did that. With Nick Fury, and I'm glad. I like the fact that he did give him that advice, and it's so true. If you are in Hollywood, this is one of the reasons why it is wild to me when certain actors are like, I don't want to play this role for too long. I'm like, you don't like job security? Are you kidding me? Where's Tom Holland? Sir, if you don't be Spider-Man till the day you die, like, are you what? You need to still have these characters going because ain't nobody go see Cherry. Did y'all see Cherry? Did how many people paid money to go see Cherry? Y'all didn't. Y'all not checking for Uncharted. So, but you will go watch a Spider-Man movie, right? So, yes, get that role, do it for 10, 15 years. Because I'm still looking at Chris Evans like, sir, you sure? You want to hang up that shield? Are you sure? Why? Because you got a little rom-com coming up with Mr. Fantastic and Madam Web. Y'all finna go chase Madam Web together? Nobody's going to see that movie. Y'all don't even know that it exists. Y'all not gonna, bro. If you don't pick up that shield, go on ahead. Now, I'm not saying you gotta take shine away from Sam, but I'm just saying you better go be Nomad. You better go be Steve Rogers in the background. You better something. Go be a variant. These actors be tripping me out thinking that they could just walk away from a role. What? Why don't you like money? So, yes, I'm glad that Sam got that advice. And yes, even though, here's the thing, Sam doesn't need Nick Fury, but it's a nice check to have, right? It's a nice little security because I'm checking for Sam Jackson with anything that he's doing anyway. But if he's gonna have another recurring role, man, I'm glad that it's Nick Fury. So it ain't nothing wrong with having a nice little retirement, nest, like a little nest egg. And Nick Fury absolutely is that for him. Now, Sam says that I'm never going to let Oscars be a measure of my success or failure as an actor. I'm not doing the statue chasing movies. If you do this movie, you'll win an Oscar. No thanks. I'd rather be Nick Fury or having fun being Mace Windu with a lightsaber in my hand. Say it, Sam. Say it. I still believe we need justice for Mace Windu. It bothers me to my core. Star Wars, y'all did everything and anything except bring Mace Windu back. Sam is still alive. Sam is still in his prime. This man can do whatever he wants. I'm telling, I will never forgive Star Wars. I will never forgive Star Wars if they let this man move forward and move on and they don't bring Mace Windu back. It will be one of the biggest black eyes, literally, for Star Wars. Bring Mace Windu back. Black Jedi lives matter. Anyway, what do y'all think about that advice that Bruce Willis gave to Sam Jackson? Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. All right, we got... Oh, snaps. Hold on. We got Loki. Thank you so much. Sending some love right back. She said she'll be on the replay. Loki, thank you so much. You always holding the channel down and making sure that we can keep the lights on around here, literally. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Who else we got here? Centertainment. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Natalie, what is up? In this economy, a job is a job. What up, E-fam? Yes. You don't even know if Hollywood gonna be around tomorrow, given the way certain industries and stuff are happening. They might put a tariff on Hollywood. Who knows? Okay, thank you. Yes, get that job security where and when you can. Okay. Anywho, what else do I have? Do I have another? I think I have like 3 more. I got a couple more topics. Okay. Natalie, what you got? Wu-Tang Wakanda shirt is new level of blackness. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm actually working on another shirt. I'm gonna try and get. I didn't make this, but I'm working. Wait, did I make this? I think I did. Dang, it's been so long. I think I did make this. Maybe I did. I don't know. It's been a while. Anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, we have some DCU updates. So we could talk about that real quick. So as we know, James Gunn is actively working on building up the DCU and making sure that it can rebound from the disaster of the Snyderverse. Yes, disaster of never living up to its potential. I'm careful with my words, okay? Not living up to your potential is a bad thing when it comes to money, okay? And they did not do that. So, we do have news about one of the new properties that is going to happen in the DCU. We know that he did announce a lot of the movies that were going to be in Gods and Monsters Chapter 1. So here's the thing. This was kind of sort of introduced a little bit. But I'm struggling with this because Sergeant Rock is supposed to be one of the movies, I believe, that we're going to get from the DCU. And it was said before that Sergeant Rock was going to be played by Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig, for whatever reason, dropped out. He was done. Okay, fine. After Daniel Craig, we have a new front runner. And I don't know if you guys would see this coming. But it's a new person that's going to come in and play Sergeant Rock, supposedly in talks. And it is none other than Colin Farrell. So Colin Farrell is going to play Sergeant Rock. And if you're like me and you don't know who the hell Sergeant Rock is, let's look at this because I'm still struggling on what this is. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it says Farrell takes over for Daniel Craig, who was originally going to be in this. So it says here Frank John Rock. It's set in a World War II set movie. It was created by Robert Kanigher and Joe Kubert. The character first debuted in 1959. Yikes. As a World War II soldier who served in the infantry, the character gained steam in 1977 when he got his own comic book series. Rock's talents include shooting down German fighter planes with a single submachine gun and tossing grenades with great accuracy. When he's without a gun, he's a great street fighter and he can survive gunshots. He's a calm guy with heart, but also has a combat antenna, able to detect an incoming enemy siege. There's also a Toy series. I don't care. I don't. Are we supposed to care about Sergeant Rock? I'm just nothing about this. Now, he does sound like an actual comic book character. He does sound like, hey, look at this. My magic power is my superpower. I can throw grenades with incredibly accuracy and I can shoot down planes and what? James Gunn, y'all need to be careful. Because here's the thing. I know James Gunn came from Marvel and he benefited from having Guardians of the Galaxy, right? But the Guardians of the Galaxy, let's keep in mind, at that time, it was a bottom of the barrel type of character, right? These were characters that did nobody really, even comic fans weren't checking for. They were not popular. They were like C-list characters at best. But James Gunn did a really good job with them. And, now they're like somewhat well known, right? They had some success with the trilogy. Cool. But let's remember that was during phase 2 of Marvel. That was during a time when Marvel didn't have all the rights to their characters. So, of course, they had to use bottom of the barrel characters because that's all they had left, right? It's almost like when you poor and you just got to make do with what you got. And sometimes you mess around and turn them hot dogs and sardines and that thing of rice. And sometimes you mess around and make a fine meal if that's all you got. But then that's not what happened with James Gunn because now he's over at DC. He running DCU. Bro, you're not eating sardines and canned hot dogs no more. You don't need that government cheese no more. That's what Sergeant Rock is right now. He is government cheese. He's that can of Spam. Why are you cracking that Spam open? Sir, you have the entire kitchen at your disposal. You got Uber Eats delivery on command. You can pull out Superman out your back pocket. You got a Batman waiting in the shadows. Why are you doing a Sergeant Rock story at all? You don't have to use the Marvel formula that worked over a decade ago because you are no longer restricted. Now, here's the thing. It's different if you were to sit here and tease a background story or tease a background character. And like, let's say while we're watching Superman, somebody mentions blah 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 Sergeant Rock, okay, or maybe what was it, Creature Commandos, maybe even in Creature Commandos, maybe somebody mentions Sergeant Rock. Test the waters. Test the waters to see, did anybody bite? Did anybody care? Is anyone interested? Oh, they're not? Great. We're not going to go sit here and go make a full movie. And Colin Farrell? Now, I guess this further solidifies that, now obviously he's not, Colin Farrell plays Penguin, but Penguin is an Elseworld, just like the Batman series. It's not official in the DCU. So, I could be surprised. This might be okay. I actually liked Creature Commandos. I didn't think it was great, but I did like it. I thought it was fine. And I also was not checking for Creature Commandos. To me, the DCU it's not in the position to take risks. You are brand new. You're starting off. You are like the fourth reboot of DC, because they've had to constantly go through directors and different executives and firing people and all that. Y'all can't keep taking risks. They hired you and Peter Safran to basically do nothing but hit home runs. And you out here just swinging a regular old bat. Like, bro, like, you need to hit home runs. This ain't the time to experiment. You don't have the social cachet yet. You still got to deal with the Snyderites. You still got to deal with them. You still have to win them over. You still have infighting that's happening within your own faction. And you want to sit here and thought that this is red meat for them. This is going to be like, oh my gosh, Zack Snyder would never, man. So all I'm saying is, you need Superman to work. You need Batman to work. You got Supergirl coming. These things have to work. And hopefully Sergeant Rock will also work. I just don't see it. Not yet. Colin Farrell is a good actor. Hopefully he could find a way to make me care. I don't know. Next, we also have Jason Momoa. Now, as was reported and as we know, Jason Momoa is going to play Lobo, and this is long overdue, right? We've talked about how James Gunn talked to Jason Momoa the other day, or when he first took over, and Momoa, only thing he was saying was effing Lobo. That's it. That was first thing he said in his text to him. So at least they know the direction that they have to go in. Now we do also know that Lobo is going to appear in the Supergirl movie. We got Princess Rhaenyra here from House of the Dragon. She is going to be playing Supergirl in the movie. So he was asked about, what are you most excited about being in Supergirl and being Lobo? And this is what Momoa had to say. He said, well, this is the role I've always wanted to play. Duh, we knew that. That's the comic I loved. So I'm really nervous about it. It's kind of a no-brainer to play this character. It's pretty big. I don't want to give away too much, but I mean, we look pretty dead on, exactly like the character. And he's pretty rough and gruff. And I'll say the bike's really cool. He does have a nice hog bike in the comics, so that should be cool. He was asked, do you think we'll be hanging out with Lobo for a while? He says, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. It is her movie, Supergirl's movie, so it's great. I just come in for a little bit. So it sounds like we can expect Jason Momoa to just make a small cameo, but my gut tells me his cameo is going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. And because we get that in a small dose, it might get a good reaction. And then we might see the spin-off movie. Now, in my opinion, if I were running DC, if I just had James Gunn's ear, I would straight up say, do not give him a movie yet. Don't do it. Casting Jason Momoa as Lobo is 100% perfect casting. But do not go overboard just yet. I would recommend make Lobo a recurring character in the DCU. Let us have him in small doses and build something up with him, right? Maybe this whole big mystery or maybe the whole big culmination thing that's going to happen later on in the DCU, maybe later on you have him play a bigger role, but do not jump the gun, pun intended. Give us Lobo in small doses over the years, and I think that will be the best path to success. And I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 6 years, if the demand increases, then you give him a movie. Have y'all ever been to the mall? And when you go to the mall, or even we'll say the mall. When you go to the mall and they be having the person with the samples, and you walk by and you be like, oh, you get a little sample on the little sticks or whatever. Jason Momoa needs to be the little sample on there. But what ends up happening if they give him a full movie is you get that sample and they like, all right, no more. You gotta go right back to the store and go buy some food. First of all, you're not gonna peer pressure me into buying nothing. I will walk around this mall, come right back, and take another dip. First of all. But if you just keep taking them little things, sometimes you be like, man, you know what? Like, this actually kind of good. Even if you don't buy the actual food, you might be like, I might come back now. So all I'm saying is give us them samples. Let Jason Momoa be them little samples at the mall. Let us come back naturally and shop at that restaurant. Okay? Don't try and force it down our throats. Pause. Anyway. And by the way, because he said he looked perfect, he looked, they got the look down. It better. I mean, Lobo's not hard. I mean, I don't know why the hell they did this, but put white makeup on this man, give him some red contacts, walk away. This should be the easiest makeup job in Hollywood history. Give this man a leather jacket with some torn sleeves, some leather pants. You ain't got to touch his hair. He got the beard already. White makeup, red eyes. Walk away. That's it. Listen. If for whatever reason, if James Gunn and the DCU, if y'all fumble Jason Momoa as Lobo, you should step down. Like this couldn't have been handed to you on a bigger silver platter. If y'all can't get the makeup and the look right, everybody on that set should be fired. Everybody. This should be the easiest alley-oop layup. This is the easiest slow pitch home run. Like, what are we doing? So I hope y'all get this. I hope y'all do it. We'll see. Anyway, guys, what do you think about these updates for the DCU? How do you feel about Sergeant Rock? Do you care about Sergeant Rock? Does it matter if Colin Farrell is playing him? How do you feel about Lobo and Jason Momoa? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Ooh, we got a butt. What y'all talking about? Okay. All right, I'm going to save Sheed. I'm gonna save that for a little later because that's related to the main topic. So I got you. Um, Jay, what's this? Grateful to still have my job all through this BS. The Chronicles of Living at the DMV. I may need to write movies after seeing Electric State. Electric State was a little, yeah, that ain't doing too hot on Netflix right now. It's not it ain't doing too hot. I think they said it only got 25 million views, which is not a good thing for Netflix. That's not. You got no Netflix got like hundreds of millions of people, and you only got 25 with that budget. Yikes! But thank you so much, Jan. I appreciate you, Minister. What you got? If James Gunn would have stayed with Marvel, he would have made Howard the Duck movie. I believe you too. And that was oh yuck, ugh. That might have been the first Marvel movie that I would actively skip. That might be it. If James Gunn, and honestly, I don't even think of it if it was James Gunn. If anybody makes a Howard the Duck movie for Marvel, I will actively skip that movie. I have zero desire to watch Howard the Duck. And I am not here for Marvel's weird sense of humor trying to joke about bestiality. Excuse your faces. Y'all having women doing things with ducks and man, what? Nasties. Y'all be telling on yourselves a little too much. A little too much. So yeah, yeah. Well, glad that was dodged. Let's see. Larry, what you got? The old E-Man 6 shirt. Thank you so much. Saw Black Bag. I think you'll dig it. Also appreciate it as a married man. Much love. Okay. You know, it was something that I didn't want to go to the theater for, but I will watch it when it's streaming. So I will check that out. But thank you so much. Let's see. JN, white box. Cheese don't melt, James. Trust me. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you, JN. Also, Larry, right back at it. Also, speaking of DCU, I've been rocking the Superman 25 shirt, and everyone loves it. But has no idea there's a whole new movie when I say it's for the new one. They're not promoting it nearly enough, in my opinion. I mean, that's possible. That is possible. I mean, like, I haven't seen any talk about Superman recently. Now it does get a little tricky though, right? To me, I've always said when it comes to marketing and promoting, we're living in the digital age now, right? We're no longer in the same way, it's the same mode of old Hollywood, old TV, where you need 9 months to promote a movie. Because in my opinion, the average person, and y'all, listen, y'all are the average people, right? Y'all are part of the society. I don't think the average person needs 9 to 6 months to hear about a movie or to decide if they want to see a movie. I think you could probably wait maybe 60 days, maybe 2 months, and just promote. Trailer on YouTube, trailer on social media, trailer on TV commercial. Hit us up within 2 months. Because if you tell me about something 6-8 months ago, I might forget. Now, obviously, we're in the space, you know, we won't forget, but the average person might forget. Like, oh, yeah, I remember. I did see that trailer for that movie during the Super Bowl, and it's coming out in November. What? What are you doing? So, and then what ends up happening is it makes the studio feel more pressure to show you more footage because y'all forgot about the thing they showed you 5 months earlier, and they end up spoiling more of the movie because y'all taking too long. Just tell us the movie is coming. I'm just saying, most people I know, when they're like trying to figure out what's coming out, they're like, yo, what's coming out this week? What's coming out next week? I'm trying to go on a date. That's when they call it the amen. What's currently out or what's about to come out. They don't ask me what's coming out 6 months from now. They don't ask me what's coming out next year. Most people who are going to the movies, what's out right now, what's coming out in the next week or so. What are you talking about? So anyway, this is going to be a victim of their own doing, I think, just following the old formula and tradition for marketing. And they can't afford, well, I do think that there is wiggle room for Superman. It just can't flop. Superman just can't flop. It doesn't have to be a blockbuster. It does not have to be $1 billion movie. It just can't flop. It cannot pull a Flash. If you pull a Flash, everybody pack up and go home. But it can't do that. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate you. Let's see. Puma, speaking of shirts, please explain mustard. Love it. Explain it. That was the mustard shirt was from that's the Kendrick Lamar, reference. So I don't know if you don't turn the TV off, So I don't know if that's what it is, Chris, I'm gonna get to yours. Let's do it now. That's fine. We good on time. The internet doesn't know, and I don't know either. Who was the first Black superhero in comics? Lion Man, Nubia, Black Panther, Ralph, Jackson, Black Lightning, Luke Cage. Who was it? In all comics? I don't know. I know Black Panther was the first leading character for Marvel. I don't know. Was it Black Lightning? I don't think it was Luke Cage. Do we have any comic fans? Some aficionados? I know for movies, it was Meteor Man. If that helps. Was it Black Lightning? How does the internet not know this? Hold on. Who was the first? And are we talking about first Black superhero as a lead character, or first Black superhero that just exists? Because they might have had a whole bunch of Black superheroes and one of them was in the background. So I do wonder, how are we regulating that? Is it Lion Man? First Black superhero in comics. I mean, I feel like that should be an easy. Phantom? What? No. Oh, no. Sorry. That's the first superhero. First Black. Hold on. Lion Man. Okay. Everybody's saying Lion Man. Lion Man? All Negro comics? Maybe that was it. Okay. I've never heard of Lion Man. I feel ashamed. I feel like I should know about that. When did Lion Man come out? 1947. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's got Black Panther beat. Because Black Panther was 1966, I believe. I think it was 66. But yeah, okay. Let's go with Lion Man. JN 1939 All American Negro Comics, first publication. Cool. Thank you so much. Natalie, what you got? Yep, me and my new boo. Hey, new boo. Tear up $5 Tuesdays, as you should, at AMC. Operation Recast My Boyfriend was a huge success. Congratulations to you. I'm happy you found some success. All right, cool. Thanks. Okay, let us go through. I think we got a little Punisher news. Yeah, let's talk about Punisher. Yeah, let's go with Punisher. So, Daredevil Born Again, which Nelson V still has not watched. I think it's off to a decent start. I think so far we are enjoying it. We are covering it every Wednesday. So if you are interested, come on Wednesday nights. I give y'all 24 hours to watch it. I don't want to hear no excuses. Then we sit down, we talk about it, review it, etc. But last week we did get a cameo. This was already advertised, so it's not really a spoiler. But we did get a cameo of Punisher, played by John Bernthal. So he showed up in the show, had a nice little interaction with Matt. But apparently, that is not the only thing that is behind the story, because apparently this might not even have happened. So if you liked Punisher in Daredevil, we might need to reconsider what could have been. So it says here Bernthal considers, his cameo in Daredevil just a toe dip, just a toe dip of a reintroduction to the character. Okay. It goes on to say Bernthal was approached with that first incarnation of the show, the Born Again, which felt more like a procedural and less connected to the mythology of the original Daredevil series on Netflix. Ultimately, I didn't see it. I didn't see the version of Frank, and what they wanted from Frank didn't really make sense to me, and I thought would not appeal to the fans and wouldn't be congruent. It was not something I was really interested in doing, so we had to walk away. Yikes! Yikes! We almost did not have Punisher at all. So a couple things stand out here. One, shout out to John Bernthal, because he's thinking about us. He's thinking about the fans. He's like, what is this? Are you serious? Like, I can't do this. No, thank you. Second, this, I think, aligns with what we heard in the early reports and rumors and leaks and stuff like that about how the Daredevil Born Again, that first iteration was not hot. It was not good. Remember, Kevin Feige came in, late, but not too late, saw the first, 8 episodes and was like, what? Matt Murdock ain't even in costume for 8 episodes of a 4th season of a show that we already are familiar with? What are y'all doing? So, and that's where you could see the very first episode where we see Matt in his costume. That was part of the reshoots, right? That was all part of the reshoots. So a lot of this show, you can tell, has kind of Frankensteined itself a little bit. And it's clear, obviously, that, John Bernthal came back, that whatever redo that they did, and we know that Marvel went to the drawing board. They said, listen, we're not going to scrap everything, but what we are going to do, we're going to go get the team that did the Punisher series on Netflix. We're going to have y'all come in and y'all going to redo this Daredevil Punisher. And now, obviously, we see John Bernthal has changed his mind, because whatever crap they had going on, it was not working. So a shout out to him for thinking about the fans and caring about the character to walk away and be like, no, I'm not going to subject the peoples to that. What else? It says here, and this time they had more collaboration or collaborative. They were more collaborative with Bernthal in developing the character. They really brought me into the conversation. We really got specific about where Frank is psychologically and where Frank's at physically. Okay, I like that. I like the fact that they actually working together on that. Bernthal has been quietly working on a series about Shreveport, LA, as well as another thing coming up. This Marvel special will be the first produced work based on something that he wrote. So we talked about this. It was a rumor, but now it looks like it's actually legit. He said here, I went through the process. I went in, I pitched, I gave an outline, before I even put pen to page. And I felt like I did not want them to just hand it to me. They had read some of my writing, asked to come and do a pitch. So I did. And they've held me accountable to every step along the way. I really want to learn this and I really want this to be good. The story that we've laid out, I think, is really special. It's the visceral, psychologically complex, unforgiving, no holds barred version of Frank where he's going to turn his back to the audience. That's what I like to hear. This is what I like to hear. You've got this character, you've embraced this character, you understand this character. Give me that character. You understood this character so much that you understood when to walk away. I don't think you guys understand how valuable that is for an actor to understand the assignment so much that, nah, I'm not going to jeopardize this. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. I support this. I support this. So I love this. I really love the fact that he is taking this seriously. I will admit that I was kind of nervous about him writing, but at the same time, I'm like, man, if you understand Frank like that, if you understand the character like that, I'm willing to give you a shot. And I'm with it. I'm with it. So, anyway, guys, what do you think about John Bernthal's comments about his take on the character? Is this something that you are excited for? Are you looking forward to the Disney Plus special, the Marvel special now? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's move on. Why is my phone blowing up? Oh, hold on. We got okay. Come on through, Kristen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Sending some love right back. Says Daredevil was a 12. Ma'am, we are rounding down. We round down. Okay. Daredevil was a 10 out of 10. Thank you. Thank you. You can't force math. Okay. You can't force the math. I asked for 0 to 10, and you keep giving me these 12s. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thomas, $10 cash app for Hayden Howard the Duck. First of all, you ain't got to pay me for that. I loathe Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is one of the stupidest creations Marvel could have ever come up with. That is bad. That is bad. He's not funny. He's not entertaining. He looks weird. Like, yikes. How did people not have nightmares over him? Like, please stop with Howard the Duck. Please stop. I don't boycott things, but we might be close. We might be close. Ugh. Wait a minute. What? No. No. Dang. George Foreman, former boxer, heavyweight champ, has passed away. Oh, how old? 76. Oh, man. Do we know why he passed away? Oh, I'm not seeing. I mean, this is news to me. His family said, "We're grateful for the outpouring of love and prayers and kindly ask for privacy as we honor the extraordinary life of a man we're blessed to call our own." Man, hey, not George Foreman. Man, shout out to the champ. Shout out to the champ. Hey, that sucks. I might have to go actually make something off that grill. Like I still got shout out to the Foreman grills. Okay. And Foreman grills got me through college and after. Still got one today. Shout out to George Foreman, man. That's man. Man. All right. Dang, see, this is why I like doing the rest in pieces like early, like that done threw off my whole mood now. What we got? Jesus, what you got? What? Keep your day job. Yes, I know. I'm not. I ain't cutting no albums no time soon. But thank you so much for the support. Appreciate you. All right. What else do we have? Okay, we got 3 stories left. And I think we're making great time. Great time. All right, let's talk about the Russo on Hollywood. So we have Joe Russo, who seems to be probably the more outspoken brother out of the Russo brothers. And keep in mind, this is the same guy that your boy got to meet and push my little dreams on for Black Panther. I gotta make that a video. I gotta clip that later. I'm gonna clip a whole bunch of stuff, by the way, for y'all. So just in case people miss stuff. If you're like, why is he posting all this old stuff? Because I feel like it. That's all. I feel like it. But anyway, so Joe Russo had some comments here, and the thing is, his comments were on the state of Hollywood, and it had some people talking, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Some of the points that he was raising up. And it had to do with like why Hollywood is the way that it is right now and who's to actually blame for that. So he goes on, it says here, the high grossing films are largely barred from major awards contention because of a trend started by Harvey Weinstein. In case you don't recall, Harvey Weinstein is probably the poster boy of the Me Too movement and being canceled. Like, he's probably the only person that's ever actually been canceled, because everybody else that talks about being canceled don't really get canceled. But he is a vile human being. He's done terrible things to people, and he is rotting in jail right now. But he also was a huge producer in Hollywood, and he had a lot of influence. His influence really would affect how people, like people's careers, but it seems like, according to the Russos, that Weinstein also affected movies as well. So Joe says here, he vilified mainstream movies to champion the art films that he pushed for Oscar campaigns. Popular films were winning Oscars before the mid 90s. Then Weinstein started mudslinging campaigns. It affected how audiences view the Oscars because they've not seen most of the movies. We're in a complicated place. Things we should all be enjoying collectively, we instead punch each other in the face over. Now, I don't know what Harvey Weinstein was doing or not, but I have long wondered, why is it that Hollywood has this addiction to these small art house movies? Meanwhile, the entire viewing public will be like, yo, we like this movie. We like this movie on rock and roll. We like this movie, and Hollywood just be like, nah, we gonna give it to that movie 3 people saw. What? Why? I mean, listen, back in the 90s, and the 90s, I still say is the greatest era for movies. You had blockbusters, you had big old movies, big old stars, and people was like, yeah, that's the best picture. Yeah, that's the best director. And everybody agreed, mostly. But now you got these movies like, oh, nobody heard of. Nobody. 20 people saw this movie, and that's best picture? That's best director? What? So here's the thing. And no, this is not just the critics, because the Academy is made up of the whole industry. It's the whole industry. Okay. So, like, don't put it on us critics now. Okay. It's the whole industry that votes. So it's the actors, it's the directors, it's the cast, it's the crew, it's all these people that are invited in the Academy that vote for these things. But according to Joe Russo, he's saying that basically Harvey Weinstein created that some mudslinging campaign. I guess he was vilifying big blockbusters and championing the small art house films. And ever since then, it seems like Hollywood has had a hard time breaking free of that mentality, believing that there's only, and I'll say this from a critic's perspective, there are certain movies that when we see them, we're like, we know that's Oscar bait. We already know. We know, oh, that's an award movie. That's not a movie for the general public. You know, so like we already like I there's a reason why, and I know my critic friends won't agree with me on this, and you know, maybe I'm going against the grain. There's a reason why I don't share a lot of these movies with y'all. A lot of these award movies, because a lot of them, in my opinion, are not appealing to general audiences. Some of them are so specific. Some of them are so like just niche that it's like, why would I sit here and talk about this when I don't even think, first of all, I might not even like it. You know, I'll watch it because it's my responsibility to vote on it and be informed. But a lot of these movies, I ain't checking for these things. Or even if I do look at these movies, and let's just say, you know, it's okay or it has a good performance or whatever, I forget all about that film. I mean, and I'm not trying to throw shade, but who remembers Moonlight? Like, who's talking about Moonlight like that? You know, so it's like, yeah, y'all might make a nice little niche art house movie. That's cool, but that doesn't, in my opinion, when you make movies, you are, and I say this all the time, when you make movies, movies are a form of communication. Why? Because that's art. Art is communication. I don't sit here and draw this picture just for the sake of drawing this picture. I draw this picture because I want you to look at it, because I want to communicate something to you. I don't play some music just because I want to hear some songs and some sound. Okay. It's because I want to communicate a feeling to you. I don't sing to you because it's just fun. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. I'm communicating something to you, right? So it's the same thing with movies. If you're telling me that a movie that doesn't communicate with people in a positive way or at all is the best picture, I have questions. You know, I'm not saying box office got to be the best or whatever, or Fandango. I'm not saying that. I am saying if a movie does not appeal, does not communicate, does not reach a lot of people, at least on a consensus level, how are we sitting here talking about this is the best or worst or whatever? Anyway, so I think it's very interesting what you know, Joe Russo brought up, and he also brought something else in. He says, like, this argument that Marvel movies were killing cinema. Well, Marvel movies seem to be keeping cinemas open for quite a long time. Dang, Joe! You ain't have to smack Scorsese in the face like that. Ooh, yeah, cinema. Yeah, it's not cinema. Yeah, but them cinemas done kept the theaters open. Them blockbusters done paid for a lot of y'all other films. What do you mean? What do you need? What do you mean? Whew. Anyway, so I agree with Joe Russo. Now, again, I don't know what mudslinging Harvey did or whatever, but I do understand that he had a whole lot of influence. So it does not surprise me that this guy who was so influential, good or bad, in Hollywood probably did change the perception of what is cinema or not. I just kind of wish that more people in the academy would actually think about that. I wish they would all kind of just reflect and be like, huh, maybe I have been brainwashed over the years. Why is it that I think a special small little movie has to be quality, but just because a movie is a blockbuster and families love it, fans love it, critics love it, that's not worthy of an award? Like what can we wrestle with that honestly? So I think the Russos are on to something. Um, but y'all let me know, what do you think about what Joe had to say? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Natalie, you gotta disagree. Moonlight was a standalone. I'm not saying Moonlight was bad. I'm just saying I have not heard nobody bring it up. I ain't heard nobody talking about it. A lot of times when these best pictures win, they are completely forgotten. They don't even become cult classics as often. So that's all I'm saying. It's like, yeah, you were a good movie, but like compared to everything else that came out, I don't know. Thank you. Jesus, there you go again. Listen, I was just trying to make a point. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see what the problem is. I don't know. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh, DePaul. I'm gonna save your question for the end because I have a lot to talk about with wrestling. I'm gonna save that for the end. I will get to you, and I still got Sheed to get to. Hold your thought. Hold it there. I will come back to this because I have a lot of thoughts. So apparently we're gonna have a wrestling section because I got a lot of thoughts. I need to talk about wrestling too. But we will get there. We will get there. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys this decision. I have 2 topics left. And y'all can pick what we're gonna talk about next. One is going to be my Doctor Doom theory for Avengers, Doomsday, Secret Wars. Or we could talk about Jonathan Majors and the roller coaster ride he's been going on. So, just real quick, need y'all to vote. Do we want to talk about Jonathan Majors or do we want to talk about Dr. Doom first? I want to see what y'all say. Give y'all a couple seconds there. Doom, y'all so thirsty. Y'all want Doom first. Doom. See, just because y'all want Doom, I should save Doom for later. You know what? I think I'm gonna do that. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna save that for later. We're gonna save it. We're gonna do Jonathan Majors. Let's just get it out the way. Let's get it out the way. Okay. So let's talk about Jonathan Majors and his wins and losses during this year. So here's the thing. We're not going to rehash everything that happened with Jonathan Majors. He was brought to trial for supposedly, allegedly abusing or whatever the case is, his ex-girlfriend, and he was found guilty on some misdemeanors. Despite the video evidence, despite the testimonies, he was still found guilty. Whatever. He lost a lot of partnerships, a lot of sponsorships, a lot of movie deals. Hollywood basically let him off they were like, we're done with you. Now, after a while, of course, I wouldn't say he's laid low, but he's kind of sort of out the radar a little bit, hooked up with Megan Good. And recently he had a new movie, Magazine Dreams, come out. It's not really new, but it was one of those canceled movies that got repurchased, and now it's coming out this month or this week. So while he's on his promotional tour for the movie, while this is all happening, a bigger headline dropped. And if you guys recall, in almost all of my coverage for Jonathan Majors, I've always said the best thing that can happen for him, whether you think he's guilty, whether you don't, whether you like him, whether you don't, the best thing that he can do is not have negative headlines flying out about him, right? Negative headlines in Hollywood will kill your career. That's all. So, Rolling Stone, who is no stranger to posting damaging headlines against Jonathan Majors, they done posted another story about him, and you might have heard about it. But apparently, they got their hands on some footage or some audio of Jonathan Majors admitting to something terrible. It says, according to a since settled civil lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, she alleged that Majors slammed her into a car, dragged her back inside the home, and strangled her. This is, again, not the situation that was in court. This is what happened prior. The unearthed audio tape published on captures Jabari confronting Majors about the alleged attack. He says here, "I'm ashamed. I've never been aggressive with a woman before. I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you. You strangled me and pushed me against the car." That's what she said. Yes, all those things are under aggressed. Yeah, that's never happened to me. And she says, because I said something sarcastically in your eyes, he says, well, clearly it's more than that. She said, something inside of you. And he agrees, yeah, towards you. And that's where the recording ends. So this tape, if I'm not mistaken, was not included in the trial, right? So this was not something that was allowed in court. And I want to make something clear first, because I've noticed people doing this online where it's one or the other. One, you have people either completely taking this and saying Jonathan Majors is trash, he's a horrible human being, to hell with him. Now, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but then I see the flip side of that, which is this is fake, it's a hoax, Jonathan Majors didn't do nothing, and it's just like this automatic defense. This ain't gonna make y'all happy because I'm not a cheerleader and I'm not a hater, but I will call it the way I see it. I don't have a problem being a fan of Jonathan Majors' work and also saying that if that is true, that he strangled her and he aggressed her, that is wrong. That's wrong. It is okay to have people that you admire, and when they do bad things, to simply say those bad things are not okay. So Jonathan Majors admitting to this, in my opinion, is not good. If he aggressed her, if he strangled her, if he put any person putting their hands on someone else is not okay. I can condemn the action. Okay? So let's put that out there first and foremost. There is no caping for Jonathan Majors for that specific act. If you want to defend beating up on a woman, you need to leave this channel. This is not a space for that. We're not going to have cognitive dissonance because you love Jonathan Majors so much that you want to defend the fact that he hit or put his hands on somebody. We're not going to defend that. At the same time, because life is complicated, I'm going to throw this out there as well. I find it very interesting that it just so happened to come out the week this man is putting out his movie. I'm just saying, y'all didn't have this information before during the trial or maybe after the trial. Y'all waited until the week he was coming out with a movie. I'm not the conspiracy guy, but I will say it's a little fishy. It's a little fishy. The week, not like a month before, not like a couple days. The week, this man done came out. He's on the press tour. That's when y'all want to drop this? And again, what did I say? Bad headlines, bad press is the enemy of an actor, public figure, celebrity, etc. So there is, and I'm not talking about Rolling Stone's intentions. I don't know their intentions or motivations. But if somebody wanted to hurt a celebrity, dropping negative news at that time is the perfect way to do it. At the time when they're trying to make a comeback, at the time when they're trying to be positive, that's the perfect time to do it. All right, we got that part. Now, this is also wins and losses. I think that Rolling Stone article, whether you believe it or not, is a loss because you don't want your name with negative headlines. That's a loss. Now, Jonathan Majors also got some wins. Okay. In one of the articles here, he also, like I said, has been doing a press tour. And one thing that he's talked about is his relationship or connection with character Kang. Shout out to the Kang gang. So Jonathan Majors was asked, like, yo, what's up with Kang? How you feeling? Would you ever come back if Marvel called you? And he said, yes, of course. I say yes. Disney, Marvel Studios, I love them. Tom Hiddleston, love working with that guy. Love working with Paul Rudd. Love working with Gugu. I love the industry so much. And now I'm in the place where I feel love from them and actually express my love for them. He goes on to say, that version of me would come back to those places, would be different. I don't think anything different would happen between action and cut. That's why I got the job. But there would be something different about if I were to come back. He's talking about Creed in this case. And I would like that. But as I said, it's not in my control. Now, he's referring to Michael B. Jordan saying that he would love to work with him again for Creed 4, which I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. So yes, Jonathan Majors is open to coming back as Kang. He's open to working with Marvel again. And he does go on a little bit more. And I believe this is where, he talked about reflecting all the stuff that's been coming out. Right now, keep in mind, we talked about last week how he admitted to being abused as a kid from men and women and all the trouble stuff that he went through. But this is where he said and reflected on where is he going forward. And he said, I had to sit back and go, okay, what are you going to do now? Are you going to keep going? And how are you going to keep going? He recalled, I said, well, you're going to learn. You're going to grow. I walked into that tattoo parlor and said, rebirth. That's what we're doing. So right now, it seems as though he is on a path of changing. Now, this also, I don't have it because I don't want to get copyrighted. But if you see his interview on The Breakfast Club, right? He just did an interview on The Breakfast Club. And some of the things that he talked about was how he needed to change. He talked about how he got right with his pastor. He talked about how he went to therapy. Actually, he's about to be over with therapy. He talked about how Even while he was trying to hook up with Megan Good, he had to make himself worthy, which I thought was a profound statement because you don't hear that from men very often. Um, he talked about how he had to get himself right. So, what I appreciate from these comments is that he's not running from the fact that, and no pun intended, that he has had a troubled past and probably problematic behavior and probably problematic, actions as well. And this is where I think, coming from and I'm just speaking from my personal Christian background, this is where I think this is a win for Jonathan Majors. Now, I know this might not be a win for other people because sometimes it's hard to put this on and to wear this, but I am a believer that when people sin, when people commit things that are wrong, if you show contrition, if you are remorseful, and more importantly, because it's one thing to feel sorry about it, but if you take actual steps towards redemption and rehabilitation, if you actually go through the process, if you do the work to change who you are on the inside and leave away all that stuff from the outside or from your past, I believe you are entitled to a second opinion, to a second chance. I think that is something we all like and we all want, that because none of us are perfect. If we did something wrong and we were sorry for it and we went through the work, we went through the process, and we really felt and had a real change of heart, a second chance, I do believe, is deserved in that case. Let me give you a counter example. You had someone like R. Kelly, who out here, he was being prosecuted, 20 years ago or whatever. And this man was crying. He made us believe that he could fly and, all this other stuff and singing all the church songs and the choir songs and all that. And people really was like, well, maybe he's fine. No, he never changed his behavior. He said all the right things. He sang all the right songs, but he never changed his behavior and continued doing horrendous things. That, in my opinion, is not worth a second, third, fourth chance when there is no repentance or change of behavior. Now, to our knowledge, this man is still going through the work. He's still trying. I'm just only going off of what he said. I don't hear any new people coming out the woodworks or nothing. So I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he is worthy of at least having a second chance. I'm not excusing past behavior. I'm not forgetting past behavior as well. But if you've actually done the work and if you've actually put yourself on the right path to being a better person, a better human being, a better man, I can't be mad at that. So I think they also said here, they asked him, when was the last time you talked to Kevin Feige? Y'all might have heard this. He said that I wrote a letter to him, not recently, but not too far in the past. I just want to clear the record. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, right? Like, boom, you get the verdict, then boom, you're dropped. But Marvel's not mishandling anything by it coming through the grapevine. I got the job through the grapevine. Kevin didn't call me and say, hey, do you want to do the movie? Do you want to be this guy? My agent called me and said it. Then an agent of mine, not my agent, got the news, turned and gave it to me straight. So I reached out to Kevin and he said, they asked, why did you write him a letter? And he said, I just love him. I love my time at Marvel. I still love Kang. I'm watching them. I see what they're doing and I'm pulling for them. If they need me, they know where I'm at. Cool. So I bring this up because, like I said, you had the headlines that can hurt you. But one thing that can help you the most is positive headlines. And the fact that he is drilling and doing this stuff constantly. He's doing the Breakfast Club. He's doing these interviews, entertainment, variety, all of these places. That Rolling Stone article is starting to get buried a little bit. And listen, what did I tell y'all before? Right after the whole trial and everything. If you gonna have Megan Good, you better treat her good. And ain't no better way to treat Megan good than to put a ring on that thing. Because Jonathan Majors and Megan Good are now officially married as of March 18th. Three days ago. 3 days. Now, let me tell you something. I'm happy for them. Congratulations. All of that. Yay, love in the air. Let me tell you something. It was reported by TMZ. Keep in mind, listen to that. It was reported by TMZ that they got married in their house. In the house. This was a small impromptu wedding in the house. Game recognizes game. You know why? You had a terrible headline with that Rolling Stone article coming out. Something that more than likely was going to derail your potential comeback. But guess what happens now when you Google Jonathan Majors? Jonathan Majors married to Megan Good. Jonathan Majors wants to come back to Kang. Whoever your new PR person is, give him a raise right now. Please, Mr. Majors, give your PR person a raise, because whoever saw that Rolling Stone article was like, oh, hell no. No. Get the rings right now. Get the rings. Y'all finna get married right now, right here in the kitchen. Get in the kitchen and get married right now. Call TMZ. Put it on the news. Put it on the webs. Shout out to your team, because that was brilliant. That was brilliant. So, hey, my man is having an up and down week, but I think he's going to have more ups than downs now. Again, I don't know what else is going to come out or not, but I think his progress is going to continue. I think. But anyway, guys, let me know, what do you think about Jonathan Majors' crazy week, these crazy headlines? What is your opinion on them? What do you think? Whatever it is, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And y'all wanted Dr. Doom. Y'all could have waited. It wasn't that bad. Natalie, what you got? I was all set for Magazine Dreams, but that audio was awful. I might have to sit out. Then becoming Mr. Good on the same day was too convenient. Not Mr. Good. I mean, you could take the name. That might not hurt. But listen, I understand. And I'm not gonna judge people that, if that's your opinion, if it's too triggering, if it puts a sour taste in your mouth, not even mad at you. Totally understand. At the end of the day, I want everybody to take care of themselves first. Okay. So please do not feel pressured to do anything that ever makes y'all feel uncomfortable. JN, can Major sue Rolling Stone for defamation? I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know officially, but I don't think it's defamation, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we got some lawyer friends here. I think defamation is more so about making a claim or saying something about someone that is not true, with the intention of harming them or their reputation. So I don't think that the press releasing something that is factual is going to fall under defamation, because if that's the case, you could just call anything that you don't agree with defamation. Oh, they said I'm not a good critic. Defamation. No, that's just their opinion. Like whatever. So I don't know. I don't think it falls under that. Let's see. JN, I agree with you with your take. I still watch the Cosby Show. Hey, that's your prerogative. To be honest, I still watch the Cosby Show too. Like, am I going to hang out with Bill Cosby? No, but I'll watch the Cosby Show. Whatever. let's see. Natalie, what you got? I'm from Chicago, Chi-Town. What part of Chicago? Well, I don't know. Don't tell me. I was about to say what part of Chicago, but no, we don't need to get into that. I'm from Chicago. I remember being banned from the Rock and Roll McDonald's and a few other spots because of R. Kelly, but I need some more majors for majors. Yeah. It's hard to be in Chicago and to either be a black female or know black women, and not have an R. Kelly story of some sort. I mean, R. Kelly was literally at the McDonald's of my high school. I know multiple high school friends that went to the R. Kelly parties. Like, this man was a domestic terrorist. Like, he was out in them streets for real. But yes, JN, but R. Kelly, aka McDonald's drive-thru, is canceled. Yes, as he should be. As he should be. I don't see how anyone can cape for him. Yes, he should be canceled. Yes. Natalie, yeah, Megan deserves more than a PR stunt. Hey, you know what? She loved a man. She had to say yes, right? She had a choice. So, you know, if that's where they love is, I'm not gonna comment on that. Let them people be in love. All right, guys, let me finish up, wrap up. What else do we? Oh, the Doom Theory. All right, so Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars is on the way. The Russo brothers are directing, but we also hear, of course, we all know the crazy, situation with Robert Downey Jr. coming back. He is going to be playing Victor Von Doom. So he's not Tony Stark, a variant. Like, supposedly, he is Victor Von Doom. All right. So now I think we all kind of agree that this felt kind of desperate of a move for Marvel to make. I think it was more so desperate because they fumbled Kang. Y'all didn't stay committed to Kang. You jumped around. Now you jump into another villain that has no warm up, right? We had a lot of warm ups with Thanos. We're jumping in cold with Doctor Doom. And it's risky because you think the Downey thing is going to help, but we don't know. But we do have something, at least a little inkling. The Russo brothers, apparently they're teasing some things here about Downey as Doctor Doom. And they say here that they tease that that Doctor Doom will be presented in the Avengers films. Well, duh. And they said here, we love villains who think they are the heroes of their own stories. Okay. All right. Okay. I got that. And to be honest, that makes sense for Doctor Doom, because if you know Doctor Doom is not like, I'm just going to kill people and I'm going to do bad things. No, Doctor Doom, and even Stan Lee said this, all Doctor Doom wants to do is take over the world. And Stan Lee said, listen, it's not illegal to take over the world. So world domination is not technically against the law. So Doctor Doom will always do what he believes is right because he does believe he is the hero. All right. So it's interesting that the Russos wanted to point that out because they also did the same thing for Thanos. If you recall, they made Thanos believe that he was doing the right thing by killing half of the universe, resources, whatever. So now we also got a little bit more from the Russos about what we can expect with Downey and all that. And this all feeds into the theory. So that's why I'm covering it here. Oh no, I didn't highlight it. Hold on, where is it? Oh, okay. So when they were asked about Tony Stark's tragic, sacrifice in Endgame, spoiler alert, Anthony Russo teased an unexpected connection by saying, we can't explain that as it's part of the story. So Tony Stark's death has something to do with the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to. Okay, blah, 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 whatever. You just let us know that Tony Stark snapping, killing Thanos and all that had something to do with the upcoming movie. So I wanted to present to you guys in not a super fancy fashion. I'll polish this up later. My Doctor Doom theory. Now, you guys let me know what you think about this theory after I give it to you. So, okay. First and foremost, after watching Deadpool and Wolverine, we just learned about how the MCU now has anchor beings, right? There are beings that are central to a universe that if and when they die, the rest of the universe collapses on itself, and that's it. So, in a past interview, long time ago, Kevin Feige let it slip. I think it was Kevin Feige or it was Benedict Cumberbatch. It was one of them. Or no, I don't know if they said. Either way, I'll just say this because I don't want to be misquoted. There is a theory out there that Tony Stark was actually the 616 universe's anchor being. Now, I don't believe that. I put a whole theory video out there, and you guys can go check it out if you like. That I believe that the real anchor being for the 616 is somebody else. Go watch the video if you like. But let's just go with this. Let's go with the idea that Tony Stark making that sacrifice, he actually is the real anchor being for the 616. Cool. So what does that mean? If he is the anchor being, that means that the 616 is on the verge of collapsing, dying out, whatever. Now, also remember that the 616 universe in Marvel, it's part of the sacred timeline, right? So this is something that He Who Remains absolutely did everything for to make sure that got maintained, right? Okay. So Stark dying, he saved the 616, but in a sense, he could also be creating the collapse of it, which is ironic, right? So I would assume because of that, the TVA is going to get involved, right? We're dealing with timelines, universes, all that stuff. And the sacred timeline is something that is very vital. So the TVA is going to get involved some way, somehow. While the TVA are involved, I believe that they are going to a universe where Tony Stark is actually Victor Von Doom, right? And I think that for whatever reason, Dr. Doom figures it out because he's very intelligent. He figures it out that, I like my universe is in danger or something. And I think he kills almost all of the TVA. And not only that, he starts to figure out about the multiverse and he goes to the TVA and he starts to actually use their technology, right? He starts to learn about the multiverse. He learns about the TVA. Of course, he could easily, destroy them. And if anything, he perfects their technology. So for my comic fans out there, okay, that have read the Secret Wars comics, I believe that what Dr. Doom is going to do to the TVA is what Dr. Doom did to Molecule Man in the comics. Okay? Because keep in mind, the Russo brothers, that we read this, they do not adapt comics 100%. They have to mix and take little things here, but they have to make it MCU like. We don't have a Molecule Man in the MCU, but we do have a Dr. Doom. We do have a TVA. Molecule Man had something to do with the multiverse in the comics, and the TVA have something to do with the multiverse in the MCU. Okay, so just think of that swap, Molecule Man for TVA. Using the TVA's technology, I believe that Doctor Doom, Tony Stark, whatever, will travel the multiverse. And as he's traveling the multiverse, he notices that there are some incursions that are happening. Remember the incursions from Doctor Strange 2? Those things they're still happening, and they're destroying the other timelines. It's a problem. It's like a cancer, right? I do believe, because we just read that Doctor Doom probably believes that he's the hero. I believe that he's going to try and stop these incursions. He's going to be the guy who's going to stop all these bad things happening to all these other universes. But he's going to realize that he can't do it. He doesn't have enough power, not enough knowledge. He can't stop the incursions. This is a similar situation that we saw happening with Loki in the season 2. As much as he tried to learn, he was not able to save everything without a sacrifice. Okay. And by the way, I know Loki might be some sort of loophole in this whole thing. I haven't thought about where he fits into this theory. So I'm just going to assume Loki can't move, or else everything falls apart in general. I'm just assuming that for now. But I admit this could be a hole in the theory. So while Doctor Doom finds out that there's nothing he can do to stop the incursions, he finds one way to save everything. And I believe that he goes to the TVA and he masters the temporal loom. Remember, the temporal loom is basically the device that that He Who Remains used to stabilize the sacred timeline. And I believe that Doctor Doom is going to say, well, if I can't save them all, I'm going to just make my own timeline. We've seen the concept art where it looked like Doom was in control, but the world looked very different. So it had some medieval time stuff going on or whatever. So I'm pretty sure Doctor Doom will find a way to use the TVA technology and create his own timeline. So that way there's only one universe, but it's a hodgepodge of everything. It's a mismatch of all the other universes. And basically, Doctor Doom, just like Tony Stark, is going to try to save the multiverse. However, the irony here is that it's the same world, the same multiverse that he originally doomed to begin with. That's my theory. We'll see if that pans out in any way, shape, or form. And so what I'm trying to do with this theory, I'm trying to think like the Russos. They pick and choose 5-10% from different comic stories, and then they try to force all the MCU stuff because it's still a culmination movie. So because you're forcing Tony Stark in here, I think it's going to follow the same narrative that all the Tony Starks, whether it's a Doctor Doom or not, they all want to save the world, but while they try to save the world, they also endanger it. Okay? Let's think about the fact that Tony tried to protect the world and he still ended up creating Ultron, right? So Tony Stark is good and bad for the universe, right? So I think they will use those themes and go on with it. But you guys let me know. What do you think about my Doctor Doom theory? Is this off? Can I get a little bit? Can we get 30% accuracy, maybe 30, 40? Whatever y'all think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's right. 60 plus. Thank you. Jonathan Major's mother married them, and everyone deserves a second chance. Thank you for that. I forgot about that point as well. Thank you. Thank you. Natalie, I don't want to put your business out there like that. Oh, I don't feel comfortable putting your business out there like that. I'm just say that I know the area, been there, so I hear you. I ain't trying. Listen, internet is dangerous. I ain't trying to have no stalkers for you, nothing like that. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't want to get you a horror story, new boo. Okay, but thank you for that. I appreciate you. Let's see, D, what you got? Sounds like Stark from Age of Ultron. Sure, yes, that's what I'm saying. Tony Stark, even though his heart be in the right place, he still does stuff that endangers the world, you know. So I would not be surprised if they gave Doctor Doom a similar storyline in that way. So we'll have to wait and see. Baker, what is up? Sliding through like Frozone, Incredibles, and dipping out. Dang, that fast. Where's my super suit? Replay gang, happy Friday, EFAM. Thank you so much, Baker. I appreciate you. All right, let's get to the others that I was holding. Sheed, my man, what's up? E-Man, I need my annual birthday shout out. March 22nd, magazine Dreams in theaters right now. Go support. Appreciate it as always. And I saw your interview with Majors and crew. Thank you so much, sir. And happy birthday to you, brother. Appreciate you. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself and celebrate your day. Thank you so much for your support. All right, DePaul, let's talk about this. Not sure if the first one went through, but I did not get another one. So this is it. Thank you. E-Man, since you're a wrestling fan, I need your thoughts on John Cena's recent heel turn and the promo he did to the fans on Monday. Whoo! So, yes, I am a wrestling fan. Now, I should say, to be more fair, I am a renewed wrestling fan. Okay. So I know y'all saw I went to Monday Night Raw. That was my first time going to a live event. So that was great. I had fun with that. But I had been out the game since the Attitude Era. Okay, Rock, Stone Cold, that Triple H, that was my time. After that, listen, the Chris Jericho run, the John Cena run, the You Can't Say, that was not for me. That was not for me. I left it. It was corny. It was bad. What brought me back to wrestling was the original Tribal Chief and the Bloodline and Roman Reigns' historic run. That brought me back. That made me be like, what is going on over there? What is this? So that to me is where I got back to being a fan. But hold on, I want to get the picture too. What ended up happening was John Cena, who has been a babyface or a good guy for years, right? Years. This man basically came and said, before I leave on my retirement run, I'm gonna turn heel. Now, this has been compared to other great heel turns like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is probably one of the best heel turns out there, because who would have ever thought Hulk Hogan would have gone bad? And I will say that he's probably not the best. And I was just having a conversation. We about to nerd out on wrestling. So if you don't like wrestling, I'm sorry, but I'm about to nerd out. I was having a conversation with my friend about, like, is the John Cena thing the best heel turn? Is it the Hogan one? Because NWO was fantastic. NWO, in my opinion, changed the game of wrestling. Okay. I still remember to this day when NWO went out there on Nitro and they was like, Scott Hall, rest in peace. My man said, "Hey, yo, let me tell you about what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw. This guy's going to win, that guy's going to lose, and this is what's going to happen. Okay, Chico?" Like, I was like, oh, wait, what? Are they out here spoiling the other TV show? That's when I really started to know. I mean, I'm still young. Wrestling's fake? Like, I knew some of the stuff was fake, but it's fake? Like, it's for real fake? Like, y'all know who gonna win already? shattered my world. I still watched, but it was just, and then I went and watched that Raw, and everything they said happened. And I was like, blew my mind. So anyway, the Hogan thing was something. The difference, I think, was when Hogan went heel. I think Hogan's heel turn so far is better than John Cena's. Not because of or should I say because the promo that Cena cut last week, it felt forced. I didn't like it. It was entertaining. It was definitely fun. Hold on, where's that kid at? Did y'all see the kid? The little kid, he was like, yeah, even that little kid wearing my shirt. Even that little kid, like, he fake too. That was funny. Because imagine being this little boy right here. Imagine being that little boy. You coming to Raw. You didn't know what was going on. You just want to see your hero, John Cena, and y'all wearing the same shirt, and he points you out and calls you crap. When I tell you they taking this heel stuff a little too far sometimes. Like, you literally rock this kid's world. This kid don't know how to process stuff now. He don't know what to do. He probably went home crying. So anyway, I thought that Cena's heel turn, the turn was beautifully done. That shout out to Triple H and the creative team. They did a good job with the turn. It's the execution and follow through. I'm a little shaky. It's a little shaky. Okay, that's the part where I'm like, I don't know, bro. Because you sitting here talking about like, you guys have been awful to me. Awful for 20 years. You've been awful. What? Shut up. Like, I was like, bro, I like Cena. I met him one time. Super nice guy. But I'm like, bro, that promo felt incredibly forced. Whoever wrote the reason why he turned, I don't like that. I think it felt forced. It did not feel authentic. But I do like the idea that, hey, after 20 years, make him turn. Now, I also want to put something up there. Because we talk about the greatest heel turn or whatever. And somebody was telling me, like, man, what about Shawn Michaels? And I was sitting there thinking to myself, but here's the thing. Shawn Michaels, he's not a heel. I don't believe he's a heel. And some people will be like, well, yeah, because he was a babyface. And that's the thing. I don't think he was a babyface either. Shawn Michaels was not a heel, and he was not a babyface. Shawn Michaels exists in this weird gray zone. Because if you know his history, this guy was a popular tag team. And what did he do? He was famous for stabbing his partner in the back with a quick super kick through a window. Okay. And that's where people was like, what's wrong with Shawn? What's wrong? And I will never, ever forgive him for the Montreal screw job with Bret Hart. That's what made me not a fan of Shawn Michaels, because they screwed Bret Hart and I don't like it. But Shawn Michaels, in my opinion, is an agent of chaos. Shawn Michaels does not like things to go any type of way. If things are really bad, if you're facing the heel, you're going to root for Shawn Michaels because he's going to come up, do his little dance and everything. Ha, ha. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. He going to do his thing, super kick, and we going to cheer. He going to pose. He going to do his stuff. He going to be fine. But then when things are going a little too well, when people are a little too happy, when you're smiling for a little too long, pow, super kick in your face for no reason. And he just stare at you. He just look at you. Just like, why? Why did you make me be chaotic? So it's amazing to me that he has been one of the few wrestlers that has never felt like he had to follow the heel or the face path fully. And I just love it. I love it. Like, I have to put respect on that. So anyway, I told y'all I was going to geek out. about wrestling because I'm getting into it way more and I'm enjoying it. But for the Cena turn, like I said, great writing, but man, he's got to come up with a better reason than the fans treated me horribly, bro. No, they didn't. Because even when people have been rooting for John Cena to become a heel, he couldn't be a heel. He was literally writing raps about people and tearing them up on the mic, and people cheered for him. So, like, the fans didn't do you dirty at all, sir. No, bad writing. Anyway, that's it. I'm losing some of y'all. My bad. I'm sorry. I told you I was gonna geek out on this, but thank you, DePaul. Appreciate you. Sheed, what? No song singing? Listen, I'm not trying to lose everybody. I'm not trying to lose everybody. But thank you for that. All right, guys, that is it. That is all I got for tonight. I appreciate you so much. Oh, what's next? We got Daredevil on Wednesday night around 7:30. So please make sure that you are there so we can talk about the episode. You might actually want to watch it. By the way, I told y'all, keep them expectations low for this episode. And then of course we'll be back here next week, same place, same time. So guys, you already know the time and the routine. You know what to do. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Wash your hands, wash your butts. See y'all later.